Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast, and during this last week we dealt with several precipitation events in the form of snow. The first one, of course, Easter Sunday, laid a more significant amount of snow than was previously forecasted by the models across south central and southeast Nebraska. We had some totals basically in the 2 to 5 inch range, with some isolated reports of 8 to 11 inches that were reported in south central southeast Nebraska. But the further north you got, the less snowfall we received. And then, of course, the second system coming through late in the week that resulted in the snow yesterday across many of the areas of northwest through central Nebraska, and lighter precipitation totals as you got into east central Nebraska, and primarily missing a substantial portion of northeastern Nebraska. Now, as we go forward in time, it does look like we're going to deal with a couple more weather makers before we see a little drying trend during the middle of the week. So if we get to the upper air forecast, what we will see is this trough that was responsible for our precipitation over the last 24 hours sliding to the east. We get a brief respite today before this next system moves into our region. So for today, it's going to be cool in the wake of this high pressure aloft starting to slide toward the east. Low pressure sets up over the Rocky Mountains. Most of the heavy precipitation with this system for the majority of the day will be confined to the western United States, but it will slip and slide eastward during the overnight hours and into Sunday, bringing precipitation to our region. Here's the low pressure system expected to be over north central Iowa. We'll start the precipitation event probably in the form of snow, and then as the day progresses, the warm air moves in, it'll change to an all rain as most of the snow stays up over the northern plains. As we get into Monday, this trough deepens as it moves to the east of us, bringing some cooler air into the Great Lakes region. We'll see the backside of that cool air into eastern Nebraska, so it's going to be just a brief cool down. Most of the flurry activity remains to the north of us and to the east of us as we start to see clearing conditions, and high pressure ridge starts to form on Tuesday across the center part of the country, bringing above normal temperatures to the western part of the state, closer to normal temperatures across the eastern part of the state, as we do not have any low pressure systems of any influence on our region. Dry weather expected in the center part of the country. As we get into the day on Wednesday, there is signs of a quick wave moving across the northern stream of the jet, but it doesn't look like any moisture with it, just a surface low in the Dakotas. If we see anything, it's probably going to be a few sprinkles in eastern Nebraska, but primarily a dry forecast for most of the state. And as we get into the day on Thursday, we start to see another warm up as a trough starts to develop, and that brings a southwesterly flow in the upper atmosphere and a southerly flow at the surface. This low pressure system up into the western South Dakota will not have enough moisture return to it to influence us, but we will see moisture in the Great Lakes region and the Pacific Northwest. And as we get into Friday, this system deepens, and this is what we'll start to watch to see whether the potential for energy to start moving up into our region. There is a low pressure down in Texas that will start to pump the moisture up, and we should see a pretty good round of precipitation in the northern plains. Some of this may slip a little bit farther toward the south. Now, as we look out even farther from next Thursday to the following Tuesday, cold conditions in the Pacific Northwest, warm in the southeast, and widespread precipitation across the northern half of the United States.